Today, we are going to work on finding the slope. So what we're learning today is what is slope, how do we find the slope, and what are the ways that we will see slope. So what is slope? Slope represents a situation with a constant rate. It could be a proportional relationship and will be a proportional relationship that could be determined by finding unit rates. The slope of a line is a rate of change as well. It's a ratio that's describing the vertical change to the horizontal change of a line. So how do we find it? We find slope by looking at the change in the y values, or that vertical change, and the change in the x values, or that horizontal change. You'll primarily see slope as a fraction or as a whole number coefficient. So, if we take a look, we see a change in y or a change in x, or we can see that as the rise over run. So look at this table. We take a look and we see there's a change in our y values happening each time. It's the same exact thing. They're increasing by 4 every time. And the same thing on the x side. We see that they're increasing by 1 every time. So, we take the change in y, which is positive 4, and we put it over the change in x, which is positive 1. So if we look at it as y is equal to mx, m is going to be that slope, we see that is going to be 4x, because 4 over 1 is also equal to 4. If we take a look at the graph, this is another way we can find slope. We look at 2 points on a graph, and we see how much do we go up vertically, and then how much do we go over horizontally. So we're looking for that change in y and that change in x. So we can see that we go up 6 and over 3. So our change in y is going to be 6, and our change in x is going to be 3. So our slope is going to be 6 over 3, which, if we simplify that down, will give us 2. So when we look at y is equal to mx, we are going to see that y is equal to 2. So what are the ways we see slope? There are going to be 3 common ways that we will discuss slope. Y is equal to mx, y is equal to x plus b, as well as y is equal to mx plus b. Slope is m. Slope is that coefficient that is attached to the x. And x is also that measure. In y is equal to x plus b, we see there's no m. We just have x, which means our slope is going to be 1. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact your teacher.